Speak up, Cass. What was looking like last week, man?
Man, it was a decent week for us. I went 3-3. Both of you guys went 4-2. Because both of you picked Indianapolis over Pittsburgh.
Yes,
we all picked Philly. Yeah, and then we all picked Green Bay. So those are our losses. But yeah, man. I mean, it was a little bit of a tough week. Chris caught me a little bit. I'm at 46. Chris at 45. Shot at 42. So it's still close going to the last 3 weeks of the season. A lot can change, especially in this week, because I know we're about to have some different ones this week for sure.
You think so, huh?
I already know it. It's a big week.
You think so, huh? Let's go ahead and get it started then with the first game the first game that we always get into, the Thursday night game. This is actually another big week. We've kind of had some weird weeks the past few weeks. Man, we didn't even get into it, man. What's up, y'all? Christmas coming up. What's up? Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. But like I said, we do got a big week because we do have Thursday night football. We have Saturday night football.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Sunday football on Christmas Eve, and we've got 3 games on Monday on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Starting with the Thursday night game, we've got an interesting game. It is a game between 2 teams that are fighting to get in the NFC, with the LA Rams and the New Orleans Saints. The Rams have been playing excellent over the past few weeks. The Saints have been hit or miss. Hit or miss. It's hard to say exactly what they are because they've been in and out of injuries. We've seen the arguments on the sidelines. We've talked about the arguments on the sidelines. What you guys got this week?
I got the Rams. I'm liking what I'm seeing from them. They've been playing some good ass football. I think it's gonna be a close game. Even though the Rams, they are at home, even though it's not a home for them for most games, but if they were in New Orleans, I probably would have picked New Orleans. But I got the Rams.
Now I'm kind of with you on that because of the Rams being at home. I think they pulled this one out. I don't think it's necessarily going to be that close either. I think you see some bad habits from New Orleans kind of show up in this one from the quarterback position.
From the quarterback position specifically.
Yeah.
So before I get into my pick, did y'all see where Malik Neighbors had hinted that Jaden Daniels was going to go to the Saints? Did y'all see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Well, he said that on live, and then they took the live off or something like that. But do y'all think that the Saints would, real quick, do y'all think that the Saints would take a quarterback if he was available?
Yes.
If he's available, I don't think he'll be available by the time they pick, and they'll have to trade up. But yeah, I think they would.
Mean, you never know. The league is close, and if they don't make the playoffs, I mean that they could sneak right up there to the 10th spot.
They could.
I think they would though.
I don't think he goes past. I think they'll end up with a better record than the Falcons, and I don't think he lasts past the Falcons. That's why I say that. But he could. I mean, they could though.
This nigga won him.
Man, I got Ritter, bro. Chill out.
Yes. No, we don't.
Y'all getting Justin Fields. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and rock with the Rams as well. Over the past 5 weeks, they've had the 4th best offense in the league, and the Saints have been I think they've been kind of middle of the pack defensively. So I think Matthew Stafford continues his hot streak. We've seen a little bit people hinting at the possible Lions versus Rams playoff matchup. I would love to see it. So I think that the Rams do get in. So I think they continue to get hot and they win this game.
Okay.
Speaking about the Lions, they got a big game, a big in-division game against Minnesota, who's another one of those teams that are fighting to try to get in to the playoffs in the NFC. Detroit coming off a big win against Les Rod and the Sean Payton and Russ. Big win. And then, Minnesota, they played on Saturday last week. They had a tough overtime loss against the Bengals, which crazy catch by T. Higgins. Y'all saw that one?
Man, that was nice.
Man, that was
the concentration to stop and just reach back over. Man,
catch of the year.
That shit was clean.
But yeah, man, who you guys got this week?
I'm gonna go Detroit. I think they kind of keep it rolling, gain some momentum heading into the playoffs. I know they had a couple of bad losses a couple weeks ago. They kind of want to wipe that slate, and this would be a good game to do it. I think they win this one easily.
I got Detroit too. I think Minnesota been playing a little bit over their heads at this point. They a solid team, but I mean they're really not that good offensively or defensively in my opinion. So
And they got
they gonna
quarterback
run.
questions still.
Yeah, so I got Detroit. I don't even think it's gonna be close
Oh
actually.
wow. So we're all on Detroit, huh? I've
Are
got
you?
Detroit, but I think that Minnesota is obviously going to make it tough on them. Brian Flores is obviously a good defensive coordinator, and the Vikings have gotten better defensively over the past few weeks. With that being said, as you mentioned, they are having quarterback problems with Nick Mullins getting the start last week. You know, he didn't play a bad game. You know, it was kind of ugly, the game against backups, but he didn't play
Yeah.
a bad game. But this week against the Lions, I just think that the Lions continue on. I think it'll be pretty close, maybe similar score to last week where it was 27-24, maybe 27-20. But I do think that the Lions come out with a dub.
It'll be
So
interesting.
we're gonna see. But moving to the next game, this is maybe the toughest pick of the week because we don't know about the quarterback position and what it's going to look like. But Jacksonville versus Tampa Bay. We obviously talked about how Tampa Bay is on a hot streak and Jacksonville's kind of reeling right now. Who you guys got? Baker or Trevor / CJ Beathard?
If CJ Beathard playing, Buccaneers gonna roll. They're gonna roll. So
What
I'm gonna
about
go
if
with the
Trevor's
Bucks.
playing?
If Trevor play, okay, this write this down. Okay, if Trevor plays, I'm picking the Jacksonville Jaguars. But if
Okay.
Trevor
Okay.
don't play, I'm picking the Bucks. So yeah,
Okay.
All right.
I think you know at this point in time, Jacksonville needed more than the Bucks. I think the Bucks can, even though their division is tight. I like we just we just predicted. I don't think the Saints gonna win. At this point, Falcons are up and down, so they got a tough
Yeah.
game too.
Falcons got to see
So
some big dogs, so I don't know.
so I think the Bucks. Not saying they want to lose, but this is one of them games where if they lose, okay, they still in good position to win the division. But at this point, Jacksonville need this. So
Some
that's
big
what.
dogs, nigga.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Nah. So I was going back and forth on this. Still, like up to this moment, with this game because
It's
it's
tough.
kind of it's tough. It's very tough, like you said. I'm gonna go Jacksonville though. I'm gonna go Jacksonville, regardless of who the quarterback is. I'm gonna go
Okay.
Jacksonville. I ain't standing on that, but I'm gonna pick
Okay.
it.
Oh,
Okay.
we already know what he picking next game.
So
Yep.
I'm rocking with Tampa Bay. As I mentioned earlier, the Jacksonville Jaguars have been kind of they started off the season hot on defense and kind of dragging the offense along. The offense had been kind of middle of the pack the entire season, but the defense over the last 5 weeks have been bottom 10 in the league. And this is per EPA. If you guys don't know what that is, for our viewers who don't know what that is, it's a team's expected point, how a team's expected points were adjusted based on the down distance and field position, and then the end result. So that's what all the things that I've been saying. That's what it's based on. So I'm gonna rock with the Bucks. I don't think that Trevor plays. I do think that Travis Etienne does still have a big game.
Mhm.
Even though I mentioned that I think that he gets it both in the air and on the ground. But I've got Tampa Bay pulling it out with a Baker Mayfield clutch drive in the end. But
That would make sense.
sticking with backup quarterbacks and another quarterback in the AFC South, we've got Houston versus the Cleveland Browns. Now, with Houston, we're almost guaranteed that we're going to see Case Keenum again as CJ Stroud is continued to be in concussion protocol. He did not practice today, which is not a good sign because
Yeah.
he does have to, I believe they have to go through at least 2 limited practices and then 1 full practice, or at least 1 limited practice and 1 full practice before the week, and per the protocol. So like I said, we're going to see Case Keenum. The Browns got a big win last week against the Chicago Bears, who surprisingly have been playing a great defense. Josh Sweat, what did he have? Not Josh Sweat, but Montez Sweat. He had three sacks last week. Who you guys got this week?
It is tough with CJ being out still, but with that being said, I'm gonna still go Houston. I think they got some juice, man. They're really rallying around their opportunity right now. Even with them being a young team. So I think they pull this one out somehow. Just like they did last week. They pulled it out somehow.
I got the Browns. That boy Flacco, he's just gonna make a play
balling.
happen. Even if it gets close, he gonna make something happen.
Okay, Cass.
That's what Eagles need. Jim Schwartz back.
Jim Schwartz. He's got them boys over there eating.
Yeah.
I think Myles Garrett continues his defensive player of the year campaign, MVP campaign maybe. We'll see how those quarterbacks play, but I do think that Houston should not have won last week. The Tennessee Titans, Will Levis is just not it. But Case Keenum, he is what he is, and I don't think that he gets it done for them. So I'm gonna go ahead and rock with Joe Flacco. I did struggle with it because Joe Flacco did have kind of a bad game last week, even though I mentioned like the Chicago Bears have been a top 2 defense over the past few weeks. But I'm still rocking with Joe. Cool with Joe, so we'll see.
All right.
And they're going to be a tough out in the first round for somebody as well.
For sure.
That defense is a problem, and they've been in and out with injuries, and they've had some cornerbacks emerging with Greg Newsome and Martin Emerson. So they're going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. But for the last 2 games, the 2 biggest games of the week, and for the first time in a while, it's seemingly we're not picking against the Eagles or picking for the Eagles, huh?
we need to stay under the radar. Good shit.
Stay under the radar. But Dallas versus Miami, the 2 teams that the story against them are their great offenses. The Miami's defense has been good over the past few weeks. Dallas defense has obviously been good over the course of the season. But the 2 teams that can't get over the hump in terms of beating teams above 500, beating winning teams. Something has to give. Who you guys got this week?
It was tough. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We don't know if Tariq is gonna play just yet. So that's
There's a report today that Miami's whole offensive line mispracticed. It's tough.
I'm gonna go. They sick or they just?
Nah, probably just rest or something. I don't know.
They're trying to get right.
Maybe, but I'm gonna go Dallas in this one, man. I'm gonna go Dallas, and I shouldn't be picking them, especially on the road, but I really don't think Miami is really good against comp, man. I would have to see it, and they ain't showed me. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go Dallas, and I think they need this to bounce back and get that taste out their mouth too. So yeah, and then they are good. They haven't lost in a couple of years. They haven't lost 2 games in a row. They're pretty good coming off of losses. Mike is getting. Yeah, I'm gonna go Dallas.
You're trying to talk yourself into it, okay?
I am. Hey, clearly.
Go ahead, Chris.
This was tough because, like y'all both said, both these teams struggle against or have been struggling against, comp or whatnot. And then Dallas struggle on the road. But I'm gonna go Miami. I think the thing about Miami is they might not be a physical team, but they damn sure can run the fucking ball. And if they get that running game going with the motion, that is going to cause problems.
It can't get ugly now.
Get ugly. So I'm gonna go Miami. I think it's gonna be a track meet out there, man.
I'm also gonna go with Miami. As I mentioned, Miami has been. I've said it multiple times. They have been the number 1 defense in the league over the past 5 weeks. They're actually per EPA, as I mentioned earlier, they're number 4 over the season now. So they're a top 5 defense over the course of the entire season. I think they're number 2 in offensive EPA. So at this point, they just got to get over the hump. That's the last hitch. That's the last stone that they've got to turn over. And I think Dallas. I mean, obviously, the story about Dallas and their road woes that'll obviously continue. But I think that Miami utilizes a lot of the same things that San Fran did against Dallas earlier in the season. And I think we see Tariq. I think Tariq plays, and I think we see Tariq get off. And also, Dallas doesn't. Obviously, Stephon Gilmore can do what he does, but Stephon Gilmore plays better against the taller, bigger, physical
Physical big
receivers like
receivers.
the
Yep.
AJ Browns, DK Metcalf, and I don't think that they will be able to get hands cleanly on Tariq and Jalen Waddle, and it's gonna be a good game though.
Yeah,
So I'm
I
rocking with
can't
Miami.
wait to see this one. I can't wait to see this one, man. This
I'm
one.
rocking with Miami. And for the last game that we're going to see on Christmas Day, man, the NFL trying to take over the NBA on Christmas Day, and I don't know
They
how I feel
are.
about it. I
They
fought
are.
with it. I fought
Three
with it, but
games,
3
man.
days is a little disrespectful,
Like
man.
y'all
Come
trying
on,
it,
man.
yeah, bro. Like
Y'all
come
really
on.
trying it. And the NBA's got to do better to market it, because those games I felt like used to be so big. They used to have the Christmas Day commercials and stuff like that. Obviously, we all know the famous one where they're shooting and LeBron
Yeah.
comes and dunks it at the end. The no gifts. we know all of that. But I feel like we
The
haven't
special
really
jerseys.
seen. Yeah, we haven't really
Christmas Day jerseys. No,
seen too
for it to
much.
be in 5 days, like we haven't seen anything about this. Like
Yeah,
they show the
That's
schedule,
facts.
sure,
That's facts.
but like there's no hype into it. Honestly, and these games kind of like at this point are very like, I mean, they're a little random to me. I mean, I get what you're doing with like Lakers, Celtics, and like
it's hard to get those. They should have did this is really the time to get the LeBron versus KDs, but you don't know if they were going to be healthy or not.
I would have accepted Denver versus Lakers, honestly.
I think you should have definitely conference games. I don't think you should have cross conference games on Christmas, personally. But I mean, I get what they were trying to do with
I
Lakers,
get it.
Celtics.
I get it. I get it.
I get it,
But the games back in the let's table this conversation. Let's get to this game, and then we'll come back to it after. We'll get to it after. But back to the game. Baltimore versus San Fran. Man, this is the Super Bowl preview. They say this was my Super Bowl. I think this is going to be a fantastic game to end Monday night on ESPN. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman, Lamar, Brock Purdy, probably for the MVP, like Chris mentioned. Who you guys got?
I'm gonna go San Francisco.
In San Fran.
I'm gonna go San Francisco. I think they pull this one out. I think they pull out all the stops for this one. I don't think it's gonna be that close. Personally, I really don't. I think they win by at least 10 points. I got San Francisco.
Okay.
I'm very confident. I'm gonna stand on that.
Okay.
This is tough. This is a tough one. I'm gonna go with Baltimore because I think they have probably one of the only defenses in the league that can probably stop them. I believe their defense is going to give Brock Purdy some fits. They're gonna get after the quarterback, and they come into play. They come into play. But I think it's gonna be a close game. I don't think it's gonna be maybe like 6 points. Matter of fact, no, I take that back. Justin Tucker, game-winning field goal.
Oh, okay. That'll be a game.
Okay. So I'm rocking with San Fran to lose this game against Baltimore and Lamar Jackson to solidify his second MVP. I've been talking about it basically all season, that I said that Lamar Jackson was going to win MVP this season. I said that the Ravens were going to be the best team in the league this season. I said that they were going to win the Super Bowl against this team in the Super Bowl. I think that going back to his last MVP or his first MVP season, the game that kind of solidified for him was the San Fran game. And I think that we see that again. I think this is going to be a dogfight. I think it's a 20-17 game. I think that they slow Christian McCaffrey down. We do see Brock Purdy actually end up showing up and making plays, but we see that Lamar makes a little bit more plays, with Isaiah likely getting a game-winning touchdown over Fred. Isaiah likely.
That ain't happening. But I will say, not to cut you off, but I will say one thing that we haven't been saying much about it. San Francisco defense have been giving up a lot of points lately.
And you said
They've
that
been
it wouldn't happen against Fred. Trey McBride just went for like 140 against him, but I'm just hold that down. So.
I went on for it was on Greenlaw.
No. It was on both. But
oh yeah, their defense have not been playing
has not been playing well
bro.
over the past few weeks, and really hasn't been playing well since kind of the Dallas Cowboys game. If you really want to keep it a buck, aside from the game that they obviously were up for, well, they played well against all the top teams. Let's just say that.
That's fair.
But yeah, I'm rocking with Baltimore, and like I said, we're gonna have to spin the block on what I said about Lamar being. We're gonna have to start talking. If they do win this game, you can all but book it because I think they're gonna smack Miami next week. I think he's gonna all but solidify the MVP, and we're really gonna have to have that conversation. We're talking about 2 MVPs for Lamar, like one of the top 10. Top 12 quarterback of all time.
He has to do
He wins
this
that
shit.
Super Bowl.
Yes,
he wins
yes.
the Super Bowl.
Yes,
It's a strong conversation, man.
Yeah, he has to win that Super Bowl though. He gotta win that Super Bowl.
He'll win. Hey, I ain't gonna say too much.